Your greatest obstacle to success isn't failure. It's your unconscious fear of finally achieving what you truly want. Think carefully. Have you ever noticed that right when things start going perfectly, you somehow find yourself sabotaging it all? You secure a great opportunity, yet suddenly hesitate and let it slip away. You finally experience joy and fulfillment, only to feel an overwhelming urge to retreat back into old patterns of anxiety and self-doubt. Why does this happen? Why do you consistently become your own worst enemy precisely at the moment you stand on the brink of real success? The answer isn't outside forces. It's a hidden psychological barrier deeply embedded within your own mind, quietly pulling you back every time you attempt to move forward. Carl Jung understood this phenomenon profoundly. He once said, "What you resist persists and quietly controls your life." You may think you fear failure, but deeper down, what truly terrifies you is success itself. The unknown responsibility, visibility, and the new identity success demands of you. Could it be your own subconscious mind secretly undermining your progress, creating invisible obstacles precisely because success feels unfamiliar, even threatening? There's a hidden force within you, an invisible ceiling you've unknowingly built, silently limiting how far you allow yourself to rise. You've sensed it for years, an unexplained anxiety that surfaces exactly when things are going too well, too smoothly, too comfortably. Today, it's time to clearly identify this psychological force and finally face it directly. Are you ready to break through your hidden barriers, confront the fears you've unconsciously avoided, and genuinely claim the life you deeply desire? You might have noticed a peculiar pattern in your own life, though you might not fully understand why it happens. Just when things start going exceptionally well, when you finally land the opportunity you've worked so hard for, you suddenly feel an overwhelming sense of anxiety, doubt, or even dread. This isn't just coincidence or bad luck. It's called the upper limit problem, a hidden psychological barrier that triggers self-sabotage precisely when you begin to exceed your internal threshold for success and happiness. Take Sophia, for example. She dreamed for years of getting a prestigious job at her company. When she finally received the offer, everyone around her celebrated. But Sophia quietly panicked. An inexplicable fear and discomfort set in, causing her to doubt herself. Instead of stepping forward, Sophia hesitated and ultimately declined the job. It wasn't until later she realized something profound. Deep down, she unconsciously believed she wasn't worthy of that success. Her internal thermostat had triggered self-sabotage, quietly pulling her back into familiar, more comfortable territory. Can you recall a similar moment in your own life? Have you ever undermined your own success just as you were about to achieve it? This unconscious self-limitation isn't something new. It has deep emotional roots. These hidden boundaries were often created long ago during childhood, shaped subtly by the messages we absorbed from parents, siblings, teachers, or caregivers. Imagine a child who receives subtle disapproval each time they outperform their siblings. Slowly, this child learns that shining too brightly brings discomfort or even rejection from those around them. These early experiences quietly embed deep beliefs that limit how much happiness, recognition, and success we allow ourselves as adults. These hidden beliefs act like invisible puppet strings, silently controlling your choices and behaviors without your conscious awareness. Have you ever felt uneasy or guilty when you achieved something remarkable? Could it be that your early life experiences are still subtly dictating the limits of your happiness today? Moreover, self-sabotage rarely appears as a deliberate act. Instead, it emerges in rational, seemingly harmless behaviors such as procrastination, unnecessary conflict, or sudden, inexplicable anxiety. Consider David, a talented professional who excelled at his job, yet repeatedly procrastinated before critical presentations. Initially, David blamed himself for laziness or poor time management, but eventually he saw clearly that procrastination wasn't his real issue. It was a hidden fear of actually succeeding and stepping into new responsibilities and visibility. This form of self-sabotage is like placing an invisible barrier directly in front of you at the finish line. Each time you approach your goal, you stumble and pull back, returning to the familiar discomfort you've always known. Take a moment and ask yourself honestly, have you recognized specific behaviors that consistently arise right when you're about to succeed? Do you tend to procrastinate, get distracted, or create unnecessary issues precisely when everything is lining up in your favor? At its core, self-sabotage often reflects an unconscious fear of success itself. Far deeper and more intense than your fear of failure, success, unlike failure, demands significant changes in identity, responsibility, and visibility, pushing you out of familiar patterns into unknown territory. Emma's experience illustrates this clearly. She had always envisioned running her own business. When the ideal opportunity appeared, instead of excitement, she felt overwhelmed by fear. Suddenly, the thought of the increased visibility, responsibility, and potential judgment terrified her far more than the thought of failure. Have you felt similar anxiety at the prospect of success, finding yourself retreating to avoid stepping into a new version of yourself? Success can feel like climbing a high mountain. Just as you near the peak, the view of the distance below becomes overwhelming, and your instinct is to retreat rather than push forward. Deep down, this unconscious fear is rooted in your sense of identity. You fear success because it demands becoming a new person, someone capable of handling greater responsibilities and visibility. Could your deepest fear not be failing, but truly succeeding and the transformation success requires? Another subtle yet powerful mechanism linked closely to self-sabotage is the concept of the persona, the perfect social mask we wear daily to meet external expectations. Many people fully identify with their public persona, often losing touch with their true, authentic self in the process. Michael, for instance, always presented himself as calm, composed, and perfectly put together at work. Yet privately, Michael felt deeply disconnected, lonely, and emotionally drained. He recognized that maintaining his carefully constructed persona was exhausting, leaving him feeling hollow and unseen, even to himself. This persona is like living permanently behind a beautiful mask, until, eventually, you forget your true face beneath it. You project an image designed to gain acceptance, approval, and validation from others, but in doing so, you sacrifice your genuine identity and emotional integrity. Have you ever felt trapped behind a persona you created for others, losing touch with who you truly are beneath the surface? These psychological dynamics, your hidden upper limits, childhood conditioning, self-sabotaging behaviors, unconscious fear of success, and your carefully maintained persona are silently shaping your life in ways you've likely never fully acknowledged. Recognizing these patterns is your first critical step towards genuine transformation. So, take a moment now and reflect deeply. Have you repeatedly sabotaged your own happiness, success, or relationships right when everything started going your way? Do you often sense an invisible resistance whenever life begins to flourish? Are you beginning to see clearly how your unconscious beliefs quietly shape your emotional life, your choices, and your behavior? It is only by clearly seeing and confronting these hidden psychological barriers that you can finally step beyond them. By understanding the invisible internal thermostat, controlling your emotional and professional achievements, you can begin dismantling it. The truth is, you deserve more happiness, more success, and more fulfillment than you've unconsciously allowed yourself so far. The question now is not whether success is possible, but whether you're finally ready to break free of your self-imposed limitations and step into the fullness of your potential. The real danger you face isn't outside of you, not in the setbacks, bad luck, or external conflicts. Instead, it lies within the shadows you've consistently refused to face. For years, you might have convinced yourself that external circumstances, difficult relationships, or unfair situations were holding you back, but perhaps the true source of your self-sabotage resides deep within your own unconscious mind. This truth is uncomfortable, even painful, but essential if you genuinely seek lasting change. Consider for a moment, why do you repeatedly experience anxiety, tension, or unexplained discomfort precisely when things begin to go well? Your mind might dismiss these feelings as coincidence or temporary stress, but your body tells a deeper truth. Your body never lies. Each unexplained headache, each sudden moment of anxiety, each feeling of tension that emerges exactly when success is within reach, these are your body's honest signals trying to reveal the truths your mind has ignored. Anxiety, illness, or tension are not random. They are manifestations of hidden fears and insecurities buried deep within your personal unconscious. Carl Jung clearly stated, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Your relentless urge to control external circumstances, to constantly manage situations, outcomes, and perceptions is not merely ambition or careful planning. Rather, it reveals deep fears stored within your personal unconscious, fears you may not even know you hold. You fear success not because you doubt your ability to handle it, but because you unconsciously believe success brings unwanted responsibility, visibility, and change that could disrupt your familiar sense of identity. Think deeply now. How often have you projected your hidden insecurities and fears onto others without even realizing it? Perhaps you've judged someone harshly, perceiving in them the very flaws or intentions that quietly haunt your own self-image. Have you ever found yourself irrationally irritated or deeply uncomfortable with someone's actions, only to realize later these very behaviors mirror the suppressed parts of yourself that you refuse to acknowledge? Consider your relationships closely. Could the conflict, frustration, or misunderstanding you often experience with others be projections of your own unresolved inner struggles? When you unconsciously assign your suppressed traits and fears onto someone else, you lose the ability to recognize your own shadow. You become convinced the problem lies outside rather than within, perpetuating a cycle of blame and victimhood. But here's the critical insight, one that can radically shift your understanding. Your projection onto others is not protecting you, it is controlling you. By constantly seeing your unresolved shadows reflected externally, you remain trapped in a state of perpetual self-sabotage, unable to step into genuine success or peace. Your true freedom, therefore, can only be found when you courageously confront the shadows you've projected onto those around you. It is not in changing others or controlling external circumstances. It's in changing your relationship with yourself. Your true freedom, therefore, can only be found when you courageously confront the shadows you've projected onto those around you. It is not in changing others or controlling external circumstances. It's in changing your relationship with yourself. Right now, take an honest and quiet moment to reflect deeply. What hidden fears, insecurities, or beliefs have you consistently denied within yourself? Is it a fear of success, rooted in believing you're undeserving? Or perhaps fear of visibility, worried you'll be judged or rejected if you shine too brightly? Could it be a deep-seated fear of finally being happy? Because genuine happiness is unfamiliar and therefore terrifying? Facing your inner shadows is a daunting task, yet it's precisely this confrontation that marks the turning point toward true freedom. Your unconscious mind will continue controlling your life in subtle yet powerful ways until you acknowledge and integrate these hidden truths. True healing begins when you stop projecting outward and start looking inward, taking responsibility for your emotional landscape. To begin this transformation, ask yourself openly and honestly, are you finally ready to confront the shadows you've projected onto others and reclaim your true inner freedom? Are you prepared to see clearly how your unconscious fears have quietly shaped your reality and finally choose a different path forward? This moment of awakening is challenging but incredibly empowering. Recognizing that your struggles aren't external circumstances but reflections of your hidden internal world gives you immense power. The power to stop running from your shadows, the power to stand face to face with your fears and consciously release them. This act of courage is the gateway to genuine emotional freedom and lasting self-respect. Ultimately, the biggest obstacle to your happiness isn't outside you, it's inside. Your unconscious shadows, the unrecognized fears, and suppressed truths quietly shape every aspect of your life. Once you courageously face them, you stop sabotaging your success and begin living authentically. The truth you've long avoided is the same truth that will set you free. Are you ready to step fully into your life, unburdened by unconscious fears, and genuinely claim the success and happiness that have always been yours to embrace? When you courageously face your unconscious fears, you break free from invisible chains that have quietly held you back for years. It's only in confronting what you've avoided deep inside yourself that you begin writing a new chapter of genuine peace, authentic freedom, and sustained happiness. This confrontation isn't comfortable. It's profoundly unsettling, yet transformative. By looking honestly at your hidden fears, you reclaim the power you've unknowingly given away each time you self-sabotaged your own success. The real journey to lasting change starts precisely at this moment of courageous self-awareness. So, pause right now and reflect deeply. What unconscious fear or hidden belief have you finally recognized within yourself today? Maybe it's the fear of being truly successful, because success brings responsibility and visibility you're not sure you can handle. Perhaps it's the deep belief that you're unworthy of genuine happiness, causing you to sabotage yourself each time things start to improve. Or maybe it's the silent fear that if you finally live authentically, you'll lose the approval or love of those around you. Whatever it is, now is the time to clearly acknowledge and consciously choose to let go of this hidden fear. Right now, take a step forward in your personal transformation. Share openly and honestly in the comments one specific fear, belief, or expectation you're deciding to release today. Your courage in facing your truth isn't just about your own healing. It becomes a powerful inspiration for others who quietly struggle, believing they're alone. Your honest sharing creates a sense of community and connection, reminding others that the path of self-discovery is challenging yet profoundly rewarding. If this message resonated deeply with you, and you feel ready to continue this meaningful journey of deeper self-awareness, healing, and psychological growth, please take a moment to subscribe. By subscribing, you join a supportive community committed to understanding ourselves more deeply and to creating lasting positive change together. Let's continue this exploration side by side, offering each other the courage, understanding, and compassion needed to overcome our unconscious limitations. Remember clearly and profoundly, the greatest transformations always begin with small, courageous decisions. Today's decision to honestly confront your hidden fears and let them go may be the most powerful step you've ever taken. Each small act of bravery brings you closer to living an authentic, fulfilled, and genuinely free life. You're stronger than your fears, more powerful than your unconscious limitations, and fully capable of embracing the happiness and success you've always deserved. The first step is always the hardest, but it is also the most meaningful. You've taken it today. Keep moving forward.